Have you ever felt stuck in life despite your best efforts? You work hard, dream big, but somehow things don't change. The problem isn't your ambition, intelligence, or luck, it's your habits. Habits are the silent architects of your life. They determine your health, relationships, career, and even your happiness. Today, we are going to uncover how changing a few key habits can transform your future. If you feel frustrated by repeated failures or lack of progress, this video is for you. By the end, you will understand which habits to cultivate, why they matter, and how they can shape a life of purpose, success, and fulfillment. Change always begins with awareness. You cannot fix what you do not see, and you cannot transform what you do not understand. Habits are often invisible. They operate in the background, guiding your actions without conscious thought. Yet, they shape your results, your mindset, and your destiny. Becoming aware of your habits is like switching on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see what has been controlling you all along. The first step is observation. Take time to notice your daily routines, your automatic reactions, and the choices you make repeatedly. What time do you wake up? How do you start your day? How do you respond to challenges, stress, or boredom? Which actions add value to your life and which drain it? This kind of honest reflection is not always comfortable because it often reveals patterns we would rather ignore, but it is essential for change. Many people blame external circumstances for their lack of progress. Yet the truth is that small, consistent habits compound to create the results they experience. Being late, checking your phone constantly, procrastinating, eating unhealthily, reacting emotionally. These seemingly small patterns influence outcomes far greater than any single decision or event. Awareness allows you to see these connections, revealing the hidden forces that shape your life. Self-reflection tools like journaling or mindfulness can support this process. Writing down your routines, reactions, and triggers uncovers insights you may never notice in the rush of daily life. Once you can name a habit and observe its impact, you gain power over it. Awareness is not judgment, it is clarity. It is seeing yourself as you are, so you can consciously decide who you want to become. Another aspect of awareness is understanding the why behind habits. Why do you respond in a certain way? Why do you reach for distractions instead of focused work? Understanding the underlying motivations or triggers allows you to address habits at their root, rather than only treating the symptoms. This is crucial because habits that are suppressed but not understood tend to resurface, often stronger than before. Awareness also requires noticing your victories, no matter how small. Change is often gradual, and every step toward improvement reinforces your capacity for growth. Celebrating awareness and progress fosters momentum, making it easier to tackle more challenging habits over time. Importantly, awareness is a daily practice, not a one-time activity. Habits evolve, triggers change, and your life circumstances shift. Regular reflection ensures you stay conscious of patterns that shape your decisions, allowing you to adapt and refine your approach over time. This ongoing awareness creates a mindset of mindfulness, self-control, and intentional living, providing a foundation upon which lasting habit change and future success can be built. Becoming aware of your habits is the first powerful step in changing your future. It transforms unconscious routines into conscious choices, turning autopilot into deliberate action. When you truly see what guides your behavior, you gain the power to reshape it, and in doing so, you begin the process of creating a life aligned with your dreams, values, and highest potential. Once you are aware of the habits that shape your life, the next step is not merely to eliminate them. Most people try to quit habits abruptly, relying on sheer willpower, only to find themselves slipping back into old patterns. True change comes from substitution, replacing unproductive or harmful habits with positive, empowering ones. By doing this, you create a constructive rhythm rather than leaving a void that the old habit can quickly fill. Habits are deeply wired in the brain. They are formed by repeated actions that create neural pathways, making certain behaviors almost automatic. Simply trying to suppress these behaviors is like trying to stop a river by holding it back with your hands. It takes tremendous energy and often fails. However, when you redirect that energy toward a new, beneficial habit, you retrain your brain, gradually replacing old patterns with new, productive ones. For example, if your habit is procrastination, replacing idle scrolling with structured microtasks, exercise, or focused work blocks is far more effective than simply telling yourself to stop procrastinating. If your habit is unhealthy snacking, replacing it with nutritious options or preparing meals in advance builds a new routine while removing the old one. Every habit you replace is a step toward reprogramming your mind and shaping the behavior that supports your goals. Another important aspect of substitution is aligning new habits with your values and goals. Change becomes easier and sustainable when the replacement habit serves a purpose beyond mere avoidance of the old habit. For instance, replacing mindless spending with intentional saving is not just about avoiding financial mistakes, it is about creating security, independence, and freedom. This alignment turns habit formation from a chore into a meaningful process, increasing motivation and reducing friction. The key to successful replacement is gradual implementation. Trying to overhaul too many habits at once often leads to overwhelm and failure. Start with one habit, observe your triggers, and design a replacement behavior that is realistic and sustainable. Over time, layer additional habits, allowing each to solidify before adding the next. This patient, step-by-step approach builds momentum and confidence, ensuring long-term success. Tracking progress reinforces the replacement process by observing your efforts, acknowledging victories, and adjusting strategy. When necessary, you strengthen the new habit and weaken the old one. Consistency and feedback are critical. Each successful repetition reinforces the neural pathway associated with the new habit, gradually making it automatic and integrated into daily life. Replacement also requires self-compassion. Old habits may resurface occasionally, and setbacks are inevitable. Rather than judging yourself harshly, observe the lapse, understand the trigger, and return to the replacement habit. This approach strengthens resilience and encourages a growth mindset, turning mistakes into learning opportunities rather than obstacles. Ultimately, replacing habits is about creating a life that reflects intention rather than autopilot. By consciously choosing actions that align with your goals and values, you shape the behaviors that define your future. Replacement transforms change from a battle of willpower into a process of design, allowing your habits to work for you rather than against you. When practiced consistently, this principle becomes a powerful tool, turning awareness into action, intention into routine, and the potential for a better future into a living reality. One of the most misunderstood truths about habit change is that it does not rely on motivation. Motivation is fleeting, emotional, and often unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, energized, and determined, but other days life's pressures, fatigue, or distractions can drain you. True transformation comes not from waiting for motivation to strike, but from cultivating consistency, the unwavering commitment to act day after day, regardless of feelings or circumstances. Consistency is what turns small actions into massive results over time. Habits are formed and reinforced through repeated practice, not through moments of inspiration. Waking up early just once will not change your life. Exercising once will not make you fit. Reading one chapter or saving one small amount will not create financial freedom. But doing these things repeatedly, even when you don't feel like it, compounds into extraordinary transformation. Consider the analogy of a river carving a canyon. A single drop of water cannot shape stone, but countless drops over time can cut through rock. Similarly, small, consistent actions, repeated daily, create habits that shape your life in ways that seem almost magical in hindsight. Consistency is the force that turns intention into reality, effort into results, and potential into achievement. Consistency also builds momentum. Early success often feels fragile, and it is easy to give up when results are slow or invisible. But maintaining steady effort, even when progress is imperceptible, creates an invisible force that grows stronger with time. Each action reinforces the next, forming a positive cycle that eventually makes habits effortless. Over months and years, these seemingly small choices produce remarkable outcomes in health, wealth, productivity, and personal growth. Another important aspect is embracing discipline over emotion. Motivation is emotional and fluctuates. Consistency relies on structure and routine. Creating systems, schedules, and rituals ensures that habits are performed regardless of how you feel. The wealthy, the successful, and those who achieve lasting change rely on these systems rather than waiting for inspiration to strike. They understand that feelings are unreliable, but actions repeated consistently are unstoppable. Consistency also strengthens character. It teaches patience, resilience, and self-trust. Every day you follow through on a habit. Even when it's difficult, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of change. You build confidence, self-efficacy, and a sense of mastery that motivates further action. Over time, consistency becomes identity. I am the kind of person who follows through. I am disciplined. I do what I commit to do. Practical ways to build consistency include starting small, creating routines, setting reminders, and tracking progress. Focus on making habits so simple that it is easier to do them than to skip them. Celebrate small victories and use accountability systems to maintain momentum. The key is to keep moving forward, even imperfectly, because repeated action outweighs perfection every time. Ultimately, consistency over motivation transforms life. It ensures that habits are not dependent on mood or circumstance, but become automatic, reliable, and resilient. Through consistent action, you gradually replace old patterns with new, empowering behaviors. You shift from reactive living to proactive creation, steadily shaping a future that aligns with your vision. Change is no longer a dream or aspiration. It becomes the inevitable result of deliberate, repeat, and disciplined effort. If you want to change your habits, you must also change your environment. Your surroundings, the people you spend time with, the places you frequent, and the cues around you play a profound role in shaping your behavior. Often, we focus only on willpower, believing that motivation or discipline alone will help us break old patterns. But the truth is, environment often dictates the choices we make more than our intentions ever do. Consider the simple example of food. If your kitchen is stocked with unhealthy snacks and sugary drinks, resisting temptation requires enormous willpower. Yet, if you remove those items and fill your space with nourishing, accessible options, the same choices become automatic. Similarly, if you spend most of your time with people who complain, procrastinate, discourage growth, their habits influence yours subtly, pushing you back into old patterns. Surrounding yourself with individuals who are motivated, disciplined, and focused creates an invisible force that supports your desired habits. Environment is not limited to physical space. Digital surroundings, your phone, social media feeds, emails, and notifications also shape your behavior. Endless scrolling, toxic content, or distractions erode attention, patience, and focus, often without you realizing it. Curating your digital environment, unsubscribing from unnecessary distractions, and intentional consuming content that inspires growth can transform your mindset and reinforce positive habits. Another aspect of environment is creating intentional triggers for desired behavior. Small cues, rituals, or reminders can anchor new habits and make them effortless. For instance, leaving a water bottle on your desk reminds you to hydrate. Placing a book on your pillow encourages reading before bed. or setting up a dedicated workspace signals focus and productivity. When your environment consistently prompts positive behavior, habits begin to form naturally, reducing reliance on motivation and willpower. The people around you play a pivotal role in shaping your future. Habits are contagious just as negativity spreads. So does positivity. Surround yourself with those who embody the qualities you aspire to: discipline, curiosity, resilience, and optimism. Learn from their routines, observe their mindset, and let their behaviors inspire your own. Positive social influence accelerates habit formation and strengthens your ability to maintain new routines even when challenges arise. Environment also includes the mental and emotional spaces you inhabit. Thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns influence behavior as much as physical surroundings. Engaging in reflective practices, consuming uplifting content, and maintaining a mindset of growth and possibility create an inner environment conducive to habit change. When your internal and external environments align, transformation becomes seamless, natural, and sustainable. Practical strategies include decluttering your space, eliminating triggers for unwanted habits, build routines that cue positive actions, and consciously choosing the people and media that influence you. Small, intentional adjustments in your environment can have disproportionately large effects on behavior and outcomes. Ultimately, changing your environment is about creating conditions where your desired habits can thrive effortlessly. When your surroundings, people, and mental space align with your goals, habits become easier to adopt and sustain. You no longer rely solely on willpower or fleeting motivation. Instead, your environment consistently nudges you toward growth. By designing a supportive, intentional environment, you lay the groundwork for lasting change, ensuring that your actions, behaviors, and ultimately your future are aligned with the life you aspire to create. Changing your habits is not just about doing things differently, it is about living intentionally. Awareness allows you to see the patterns that guide your life, giving you the power to choose consciously. Replacing old habits with positive ones ensures that change is sustainable rather than fleeting. Consistency over motivation teaches you that small, repeated actions compound into extraordinary results, even when inspiration fades. And shaping your environment allows your habits to thrive effortlessly, aligning your surroundings with your goals and values. Your future is not determined by chance, it is determined by the habits you cultivate today. Every action, repeated consistently, builds the foundation for the life you desire. By practicing these 4 principles, you create a life of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. The moment you start observing, replacing, committing, and designing your environment, transformation begins. Habits are the architects of your destiny, and the choices you make today will define the success, joy, and abundance you experience tomorrow.